What is up, everyone? Today I'll be showcasing a very solid duo for the Open Great League, CRESSELIA and DIGGERSBY. These two cover each other extremely well, as CRESSELIA really only loses versus Steel types and Ghost types, both of which DIGGERSBY beats, and DIGGERSBY really only has to worry about Water types and Fighting types, both of which CRESSELIA beats. So they cover each other pretty good. There's a couple Pokemon that can somewhat core break, especially some Flying types and Grass types, which is why I will be pairing it with an Ice type, alolan Sandslash in the back. Anyway, let's get into the battle, starting off with a pretty awkward lead for this team. Razor Leaf, Tropius. Any Grass type in the lead is gonna be kind of uncomfortable to face, to be honest, as you can't switch in DIGGERSBY here to lure out a potential Fighting type. So you're just gonna have to play out this matchup with CRESSELIA. Usually you soft lose, and if there's a Fighting in the back, you're just gonna lose the game, and you gotta live with that. Luckily though, like the vast majority of Grass types I've seen in the lead don't come with a Fighting type in the back, as Flying types will be kind of strong against that. Like, it's still doable for like a Grass Fighting combination to beat a Flying type, to be honest. So it is definitely a thing sometimes, but generally players don't opt to go with a Fighting type in the back behind the Grass lead, and that works out pretty great for this team. In this case, they switched in Lantern after I brought out the alolan Sandslash into their Tropius, which means this is likely the line Jonkus showcased with Lantern and alolan Sandslash in the back, which should be pretty fine with me. So because it's alolan Sandslash in the back, I'm just going to stay in with my own alolan Sandslash here. I'm not really worried about this Lantern. I can take it out with my alolan Sandslash without taking too much damage. And I'm still expecting my DIGGERSBY to be able to land a Hyper Beam versus Tropius later. Oh, by the way, I'm running Powder Snow on my alolan Sandslash. Shadow Claw would have actually been better in this matchup because Lantern and their alolan Sandslash would take neutral from it, and it's better versus Steel types in general. But I like Powder Snow on this team, as it's much better versus Lickitung then, as well as flyers like Mandibuzz, Dragonite, and Gligar. But if you don't have a Powder Snow alolan Sandslash and don't want to team away the legacy move Shadow Claw off of yours, just stay with Shadow Claw. It's still very fine as well. You might have to play it a little differently versus like Lickitung though. Anyway, I was confident DIGGERSBY would reach the Hyper Beam here, but seeing how much damage these Razor Leaf do, I don't know anymore. But luckily, still survived that Leaf Blade, get to the Hyper Beam, and this will definitely knock out the Tropius. GG. Alright, next game, we face a Dragonite lead. This is, yeah, also kind of uncomfortable. I'm actually really expecting a, like, Medicham in the back here, but I didn't think I could really switch out, as DIGGERSBY doesn't have a great matchup here either, even though on Quick Attack you still generally lose. But I looked it up in the Sims later, and DIGGERSBY can actually take a superpower and get to the Hyper Beam still. So honestly, since I am expecting Medicham in the back, what I really should have done there is after that Moonblast, just dipped into DIGGERSBY, kind of sacked it, just kind of hope they bring in a Medicham versus my DIGGERSBY, to be honest. And then I should be looking pretty good versus the Dragonite Registeel core later with my Registeel. With my alolan Sandslash here. Unfortunately though, I didn't do that. And now I brought my A-Slash out into this Registeel. The reason I brought out A-Slash here instead of DIGGERSBY, even though A-Slash is still better versus the Dragonite, is because I was again expecting that Medicham. And versus Medicham, A-Slash is awful, and DIGGERSBY at least has some play. So I felt like the only way I had any chance winning this game is if I save my DIGGERSBY for the Medicham. But I'm a shield down now. I kind of miscounted Registeel. I threw my draw run one turn too late, and I had to use another shield. That did allow me to get a bunch more farm though, but it's not really going to help me against this Medicham. I do get one Ice Punch off and a draw run here, which will bring the Medicham kind of low, but the Dragonite still has too much HP for me to deal with. Gonna bring in DIGGERSBY here. I do get a really nice catch here on the Ice Punch. Maybe that gives me a little bit of play if DIGGERSBY can manage to farm down this Medicham and somehow tank a superpower from the Dragonite. Medicham is still going to reach another Ice Punch though. This will do a decent chunk for my DIGGERSBY. Brings it into the yellow. Out comes Dragonite now though. And they have a superpower, and this will knock me out. So yeah, I really should have switched in my DIGGERSBY earlier there. And then if they brought in the Medicham versus my DIGGERSBY, I think I might have had a chance. Alright, next game we lead into a Carbink. I love seeing Carbinks with this team, as my squad is just incredibly strong versus it. DIGGERSBY hard walls it, CRESSELIA is very good against it, and A-Slash very good against it as well. Gonna try to catch a Moonblast here on Diggersby. Don't fall for it though. Bring in Medicham. This is beautiful. This is exactly how this is supposed to work out. Against Medicham, switch-ins, I always go for Scorching Sands first, as if you get the debuff, you should be able to get to a Hyper Beam. Since I didn't get the debuff this time though, I'm gonna go for just the Scorching Sands here. Actually, you might not be able to reach a Hyper Beam, but you do increase your chances of getting to a Hyper Beam at least, which is nice. Look at this, double Scorching Sands already, like, bring the Medicham very low. Even without the buff, which is just really nice. They're gonna have energy to throw at my Cresselia now though, which is not the worst. Ice Punch don't do that much. They might get to a second, but yeah, I don't really care. They bring out Carbink here, which is fine too. At this point, I'm kind of expecting a Grass type in the back, which means alolan Sandslash will be very, very strong. This is a team I've seen before, Carbink, Medi, Vinu, or Carbink, Medi, Victory Bell, and A-Slash just very good. First that Carbink, Vinu combination. Obviously a little lag here, but didn't matter. Take out the Carbink, and we're actually not going to see what they have in the back because they concede. So it was likely a Grass type. Alright, very good lead here. The switch in Lickitung. And now I bring out alolan Sandslash. This is the first Lickitung safe switch I saw with my alolan Sandslash, and I didn't quite know how to play it out yet. So I go for Duran first. I think that's definitely the way, because Duran plus Ice Punch brings him into a range where he can easily farm down. Duran does do a little more than Ice Punch, by the way, so that's why. But I go for another Duran here, because I didn't know yet that Ice Punch would be enough to farm down before the next 3 Body Slams. But it would have been. So I definitely should have just gone for Ice Punch. And because I didn't, this puts me in a very awkward situation, as they're gonna get to another Body Slam before my move. I can take this. But if I take this, they're gonna be able to shield and lick me down, which I allow. I allow this time because if they do shield this and lick me down, I can bring in Diggersby, get a very nice quick attack farm down, and then the Medicham is in some trouble versus my Diggersby too. I'm gonna shield up whatever they throw here. Well, if they're worth throwing at Power Up Energy, and this is Power Up Energy, so I shield it. Didn't want to take that move, even though it wouldn't do like that much. Would be enough to kind of put my Diggersby in a tough situation. In comes Medicham now. I'm going to throw the Scorching Sands, basically immediately, hoping to debuff. And I do get the debuff, which is quite lucky. I'm going to go for my Hyper Beam immediately, which is a mistake. I'm kind of expecting alolan Sandslash in the back, and if it's alolan Sandslash in the back, I should over farm by 2 quick attacks, because if I over farm Hyper Beam by 2 quick attacks, I will get to my Scorching Sands in 4 after that, which means that if alolan Sandslash does come in, if it is in the back, then I would be able to outpace the alolan Sandslash to the Scorching Sands, as it takes 5 Shadow Claws or Powder Stones to get to the Ice Punch. Luckily though, it wasn't alolan Sandslash, it's actually Carbink, and again, this team loves to see this. I don't think I lost to a single Carbink team with this squad, so it's really, really nice. Just gonna take that Moonblast, and now Crash should be able to just sweep the rest of the team. First Grass Knot coming through. Carbink is so incredibly tanky though, it's crazy. The Grass Knot just barely did more than half the remaining HP, which is wild. Like, you need like 3 or 4 to knock it out from full health, which, I don't know, it's just a bit crazy. Just a bit crazy. Cress still takes the moves from Carbink like a champ too though. Gonna get off this next Grass Knot, farm down a Medicham, and Cresselia sweeps the game. GG. Alright, next match, Deoxys. Pretty solid lead for me. It's gonna stay in here. I'm guessing this might come with Lickitung in the back as well, so I gotta be ready to switch out into one of my Pokemon quickly. This is actually the match right after the previous game, and I decided if they switch in Lickitung this time, I'm gonna go in Diggersby, as I'm thinking that might be a little bit of a more comfortable matchup to play out. And I do bring out Lickitung, I bring in Diggersby. I know I can survive 2 power-ups here, so just let it go. I'm sorry about this, like, recording issues, by the way. I have some trouble with my cable, and usually I record my battles through like screen mirroring on my PC, because I'm also live streaming at the time, by the way. All these battles were done on my live stream right as the Great League meta released, so if you want to be there live next time, go follow me on Twitch. Always good vibes there. Anyway, hit the Hyper Beam. That's huge. I can take this next power up, go for the Scorching Sands. But again, I've put myself in an uncomfortable situation by the way I've played this, because they can just shield this and lick me all the way down now. I'm going to get to another Scorching Sands though, after I shield this Body Slam. But they can lick me down now by using a shield. So, it's not ideal. Not ideal. If I just shielded a move earlier, it would have been a much better spot. But then I would have gone a shield down. So, yeah. Next battle, actually, I'm going to show you how you should play it, because this definitely wasn't it. Anyway, gonna farm this thing now with A-Slash. I still don't feel too bad. Since they stayed in with Deoxys for Cresselia for quite a while, I'm still thinking that Cresselia might core break. What I'm hoping at least. So I bring in Cress immediately versus Deoxys. Hope to Moonblast it, but sadly they switch out into Gligar. And caught the move. Actually kind of a misplay by me as I threw a Psycho Cut before throwing my Moonblast. I should just throw Moonblast immediately. Might have actually mistapped there. I don't quite remember. But yeah, it's a misplay. Go for the Grassnell here. They're going to get to the dig here. Perfect energy management by my opponent there, knowing exactly when I would get to that Grassnell. Get to the dig. Because they threw at that timing, they're actually able to get to another dig right here, which I do shoot up. Now, only hope is to get to 2 Ice Punches versus the Deoxys before they reach Thunderbolt. Run won't do enough yet. They reach a move here. It's just Psycho Boost. It's just Thunderbolt. It is Thunderbolt. Doesn't knock me out though. I should have gone for Turn here because it does do more damage, but I wouldn't have knocked out, so my only wink on here is if they lagged the turn and didn't get a counter through during my Ice Punch. But luckily the game did work and my opponent takes the deserved win there. GG. Okay, Medicham lead, and again they're staying in, which is crazy. Cress just picking up these leads. Out comes Lickitung now, and this is how we should play it. Actually a little bit of a slow swap on my end. It's not going to end up mirroring though. Go for Drone here. Do go for the Drone first every time, as they will always no shield. And if they do shield, that's fine, because then you can just go straight Ice Punches and win the higher shield scenarios. Anyway, I'm going to throw Body Slam here, because I threw Drone there. I'm still able to get to the Ice Punch right before their next. If they let this go, you let their move go. They shield, you just pair shields. And you should be able to always guarantee switch in that case. Even if they throw Power Up here, which my opponent does, which is a higher damage move, you're able to farm down before they lick you down and just easily grab switch. If you have Shadow Claw, alolan Sandslash in this team actually, you won't be able to play it the way I did there. But in that case, you should just try to force something with Diggersby, I guess. Speaking of Diggersby, bring it out into the Bastion there. Actually good play by my opponent there, catching the Moonblast on their Bastion. One, catches my energy, and secondly, also desyncs the timers a little bit. Which means, if I'm not careful here, they can bring out my Medicham and have like 15 seconds of time with their Medicham on my Diggersby to do a bunch of counter damage, which is not ideal. Which is why you see me farming up to 100 energy here. Because I want to be able to, if they are able to switch into Medicham right now, I do want to be able to Scorching Sands it. However, I go for the second one right away here, as I already saw my timer was almost up. So I threw that when my timer was almost up, so that I could switch out to the Cresselia now, basically. I wore out the final seconds of my timer on purpose there by throwing the move immediately. And that allowed me to bring in a Crest first Medicham immediately now. Anyway, yeah, at this point the game is over. My opponent concedes the match. GG. Okay, Crest into Azumarill and they're staying in. This is interesting and also kind of scary, because Azu lead does come with Medicham in the back, which means I'm going to have to save Cresselia here somehow. Now throw this Grassnell here. Should be able to do that though, as Cresselia has pretty dominant matchup versus Azumarill, especially if they don't have Hydro Pump. And this seems to just be a play rough, which I let go. Go for another Grassnell. At this point, I kind of want to save Crest with some energy, so I'm going to try to catch the next play rough onto Diggersby. Kind of a risky move, as if they do go for Hydro Pump or Ice Beam, I'm taking super effective damage, but even that Diggersby could take. They go for the play rough though. Good catch by me. Gonna try to farm down now. Even if they get to the Ice Beam, that's fine. Diggersby is thick and I can take it easy. We're just gonna let this Ice Beam go. Farm all the way down. Hope to lure out Medi in the back. Pretty smart move by my opponent, not switching into Medi instantly, as I don't want to knock out my Diggersby and then like be lined up versus Crest and not able to switch out. So they actually just let their Azu go. Bring in Medi now. I'm gonna go for double Scorching Sands. This does a good chunk of damage. And then I just bring in Crest here and hope my A-Slash can take out whatever is left in the back. But I'm going to see my opponent's actually going to have their own A-Slash in a second. And that just makes it really rough for me. I don't know how I could have played this differently, to be honest, to play around that A-Slash. I think it's just a very tough line to face, to be honest. Even though I core broke their lead and back. This A-Slash is pretty tough. There's no point in double baiting for me. I just gotta hope. I really gotta hope there's an Ice Punch, which I don't think they ever do. They just throw a straight drone, and at that point, the game is over. GG. Alright. Swampert. By the way, the reason why I no-shielded that, just to be clear, is even if I double Ice Punch baited, they're gonna outpace to 3 Druruns. So I lose that matchup no matter how I play it, if they just do the smart move and throw triple drill run, right? So I felt the need to call an Ice Punch bait there. So that's what I tried doing. But my opponent played that well and just threw the drill run. GG. Okay, Swampert lead. This is fine. This is fine. They're staying in though, which again, I don't like it when I get a good lead and they stay in. And to get my crest pretty low, because if it's Metacham, I'm kind of screwed. But I have to stay in. I have to stay in. Crest, at least as a kind of dominant matchup here. I will think after this matchup, if they use both shields, I'll be at like 25% HP, which is enough to still throw a Moonblast into a Metacham in the end game. So this is super fine. Just staying in here. Gonna shoot up this next Hydro, of course. And then gotta make sure Swampert doesn't catch. So once I get to this Grass Knot, I wait a turn, make sure I throw in the middle of their Mud Shot. Gonna throw this Grass Knot now, take out the Swamp, and probably instant switch into Diggersby. They do bring out a Lickitung, so instant switch into Diggersby. Out comes Dragonite, and this is looking super good for me. Like I said earlier in the video, Diggersby can survive a Superpower here and get to the Hyper Beam. So take the Superpower, go for the Hyper Beam. This will absolutely destroy the Dragonite. Bye-bye. And then I will have the A-Slash aligned to the Lickitung. Lickitung does have a decent amount of energy now, though. And a good amount of HP after licking down my Lickitung. My Diggersby, I mean. So these Body Slams could really start adding up. But since I resist everything, I think A-Slash should be able to win out this matchup. I go for the Drill Run, which I think might be a little bit of a mistake. I think it's safer to just go for double Ice Punch. But I thought I would be able to outpace to an Ice Punch here. And even if they get to the Body Slam, I think I survive it. So yeah, I do get to another Ice Punch. I think they get to another Body Slam after this. No, I'm just switching Crest. Psycho Cut down. GG. Okay. Ooh. Grass lead. Venusaur especially. This is really bad. This is really bad. I go for the Moonblast immediately. Honestly, a mistake. I should have farmed up the future side energy at least. Now I can safely no shield. So, bit of a mistake by me. But fine. I'll just let this Frenzy go. Try to go for a Grass Knot afterwards. But my opponent, very good counting. Throws on the CMP tire. Doesn't allow me to get more chip in with Crest versus Venu. Knowing that my backline is probably going to be pretty weak versus Venu as well. Otherwise, I would have never stayed in with Crest. So once I bring in my A-Slash, they actually instant switch into Azu. Probably means they have another counter to A-Slash in the back. I'm really hoping it's not Medi. If it's like, I don't know. Oh, I'm just hoping there's something in the back I can beat, really. Okay, this could be Hydro Pump, so shield it. Since they brought out Azu into A-Slash, I'm expecting this to be a Hydro Pump Azu. We don't know yet, though, because they baited with Ice Beam. I really wish I no-shielded that, because that would have done nothing, of course. There's another matchup where not having Shadow Claw kind of hurts, by the way. Powder Snow definitely very bad here. As with Shadow Claw, pretty sure I would have brought this into Drill Run range already. But with Powder Snow, they're still like at like 10% HP. Gonna let this move go now, hoping it's just Play Rough, but no, it is a Hydro Pump Azu like I was expecting. And now, I just hope it's like Sableye, but no. Ends up being Dugong. That's definitely game over, so I concede the match. GG. That was it for the battles today. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Good luck with your battles, trainers.